Clarissa Pinkola Estés writes that instinct is ancient, bodily, and fast. It responds before thought, before language, before logic. She reminds us that the body remembers what the mind may forget. In quote, the body is a storyteller. When chemistry hits fast, it's recognition. Intensity floods the body with dopamine, cortisol, and adrenaline, chemicals that feel like passion and urgency. Estés warns that instinct is shaped by experience. What has been wounded will call to itself again. So if early love was unpredictable, volatile, or unsafe, your nervous system learned something crucial. Love feels charged. Love feels anticipatory. Love feels like waiting for impact. She writes that instinct reacts to familiar patterns, not healthy ones. The psyche will circle what it knows. This is why chemistry often bypasses evaluation. The body doesn't ask, is this mutual? Is this kind? Is this stable? It asks, can I track this? Can I anticipate this? Can I survive this? Estés cautions that not all instinctual pull is wisdom. Not every call from the deep is meant to be followed. Urgency is not closeness. Intensity is not safety. Arousal is not love. Urgency is dysregulation, the nervous system mistaking familiarity for fate. Chemistry is not a compass for love. It's a memory of what your body learned to endure. Lesson 2, the bad boy myth. What's really going on? It's not women's nature to want bad men. Humans are wired to be attracted to confidence, vitality, and strength. But in immature or traumatized contexts, those traits get bundled together with recklessness, emotional unavailability, dominance without empathy. The adolescent bad boy archetype often matures into something darker. Yes, the dangerous man is frequently the adult version of the bad boy when development stalls. Secure masculinity keeps confidence, decisiveness, erotic polarity, and loses cruelty, volatility, emotional immaturity. When trauma is present, the nervous system confuses strength with danger. This dynamic isn't new. We've been romanticizing it for centuries. Think about Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Catherine doesn't love Heathcliff because he's kind, stable, or emotionally safe. She loves him because he matches her chaos. There's a moment where she says, "I am Heathcliff." That line is often quoted as romance, but psychologically, it's fusion, not love. Heathcliff isn't a partner. He's an externalized nervous system wound. He's jealous, vindictive, punitive, and yet irresistible. Why? Because Catherine grew up in emotional volatility. Heathcliff is the original bad boy who grows into a dangerous man, and Catherine mistakes that danger for depth. That's not a love story. It's a trauma bond written in Gothic prose. Lesson 3. Power gets mistaken for safety. Dangerous people often project certainty, dominance, fearlessness. To a nervous system shaped by instability, power can feel like protection. They won't abandon me. They won't be weak. They can survive anything. When gentleness once meant absence, aggression can feel grounding. Lesson 4. Unavailability creates obsession. Dangerous partners thrive on intermittent reinforcement. Hot, then cold, present, then gone, attentive, then withholding. This isn't romance, it's addiction. The nervous system becomes hooked on possibility, not reality. Catherine Earnshaw provides a precise illustration of this pattern. She knows Edgar Linton represents comfort and security, yet Heathcliff, violent, obsessive, emotionally brutal, feels eternal to her. Why? Because Heathcliff appears unbreakable, emotionally armored, forged by suffering, incapable of leaving. To Catherine's nervous system, shaped by chaos, his dominance reads as permanence. If he can survive anything, he won't leave me. And Bronte shows the cost. Catherine's body and psyche collapse because a nervous system cannot rest inside danger, no matter how strong it appears. Lesson 5, the savior fantasy. If you have a fix the person fantasy love type, danger gives you a role. If I love them enough, if I'm patient enough, if I heal them, then I'll finally be chosen. This isn't about them. It's about replaying an old wound with the hope of a different ending. Catherine Earnshaw believes, implicitly, that her love is what gives Heathcliff meaning, humanity, and direction. Heathcliff is abused, socially rejected, emotionally feral, shaped by cruelty and deprivation, and Catherine positions herself, without ever naming it, as the one who truly sees him, the emotional home he belongs to, the bond that could redeem his suffering. This is the core savior fantasy. If I love him enough, he will become whole. If I stay, I can be the exception. But notice something crucial. Catherine does not actually help Heathcliff heal. She fuses with his wound. Lesson 6, the masochism-sadism attachment loop. For some people, pain became proof of love. Not sexual masochism, relational masochism, enduring emotional harm, equating suffering with loyalty, finding worth through tolerance. Pain feels organizing, predictable, familiar. That's not desire, that's trauma repetition. In Wuthering Heights, love is organized around pain. Catherine endures Heathcliff's emotional brutality as if suffering proves loyalty, while Heathcliff hardens into domination as a way to keep the bond alive, forming a masochism-sadism attachment loop where enduring harm becomes devotion and inflicting pain becomes connection. This isn't sexual masochism, but relational masochism, where pain feels grounding because it's familiar, predictable, and organizing to a nervous system shaped by instability. Bronte shows the cost clearly. Catherine's body collapses, Heathcliff's psyche calcifies, and what looks like passion is actually trauma repeating itself, because pain doesn't deepen love, it replaces it. Lesson 7. If you disown your shadow, you will seek it in others. There is a core rule in depth psychology. What you disown in yourself, you will be magnetized toward in others. This is the shadow. The shadow is not evil. It is everything you were not allowed to be. Anger, desire, erotic power, dominance, self-prioritization, saying no without explanation. If you learned early that these traits made you unsafe, unloved, or rejected, you didn't eliminate them, you buried them. And buried energy does not disappear, it projects. So when someone enters your life embodying what you had to suppress, your nervous system lights up. Not because they're compatible, but because they're carrying your disowned vitality. This is why some people say, I'm drawn to narcissists. I'm attracted to sociopaths. There's something about dangerous men. This isn't a craving for pain necessarily. It's a craving for lost wildness. In Women Who Run with the Wolves, Clarissa Pinkola writes that when a woman's instinctual nature is injured or suppressed, she will search for it outside herself, often in distorted forms. She warns that when the wild self is blocked, it doesn't disappear, it reappears as a substitute. Danger becomes that substitute. Because danger feels alive, it's intense, it awakens sensation in a body that learned to survive by numbing. But she is explicit about this. The wild is not reckless, it is not predatory toward its own. She describes the wolf as relational, ethical, protective, and discerning. The wolf knows when to stay, when to leave, when to fight, or to rest. Narcissists and psychopaths are not wolves, they are false wild figures. She names this archetype too, the predator who wears the face of instinct but lacks soul. To a wounded nervous system, though, the imitation feels intoxicating. Why? Because dangerous people often embody what the self was forced to abandon. Confidence without apology, dominance without permission, emotional detachment mistaken for strength, intensity mistaken for depth. So the psyche projects vitality onto danger. He's powerful, he's free, he doesn't need anyone. But that isn't instinct, that's compensation. She makes this distinction clearly. Not every descent is initiation. Some are simply a loss of life force. The body becomes aroused not because love is present, but because fear sharpens sensation. This is why dangerous men feel erotic to people shaped by chaos. The nervous system confuses arousal with aliveness, intensity with intimacy, danger with power. But the true wild archetype does not dominate, discard, or dehumanize. It protects life. Unintegrated wildness seeks danger to feel alive. Integrated wildness creates boundaries that protect eros. So when someone says, "I'm drawn to dangerous people," what they're really saying is, I want my instinct back, and I'm looking for it in the wrong host. Attraction isn't just chemistry, it's a map to what you've disowned. Heal the shadow, and danger stops feeling erotic. When shadow remains disowned, obsession fills the gap. Which is why unavailability doesn't repel, it hooks. Lesson 8. Fantasy needs an obstacle. In fantasy-based attachment, love is not built through mutuality. It's built through opposition. Psychology calls this the Romeo and Juliet effect, when love intensifies in response to external resistance. In Romeo and Juliet, it isn't compatibility that fuels desire, it's the feud. Their parents become the obstacle, and the obstacle becomes the oxygen. The forbidden nature of the relationship doesn't weaken their bond. It romanticizes it. Suddenly, love becomes a story, a mission, an identity. Us against the world. If we can survive this, it must be real. I'm the only one who truly understands them. The obstacle gives fantasy something to push against. Without resistance, the fantasy collapses. This is why calm love can feel threatening, not because it lacks depth, but because it lacks drama. Peace removes the enemy, and without an enemy, the fantasy has no plot. When love is organized around danger, secrecy, or disapproval, intensity is mistaken for intimacy. But intensity is not closeness, it's arousal. And arousal fades once the obstacle disappears. Romeo and Juliet didn't die because they loved too deeply. They died because love was confused with defiance. Fantasy bonds need something to overcome. Secure bonds need something to build. If love only feels real when there is resistance, what you're attached to isn't the person, it's the obstacle that makes you feel chosen. Not all people are attracted to dangerous partners because they want pain. They're attracted because danger awakens instinct, organizes chaos, and gives meaning to intensity in a nervous system that never learned safety. The bad boy doesn't disappear with age. Untreated, he matures into the dangerous man, and familiarity gets mislabeled as chemistry. You don't stop loving dangerous men by becoming less passionate. You stop when your nervous system learns that safety can be erotic too. Most people think the opposite of dangerous love is boring love. It's not. Companionate love has its own kind of eroticism. It's just quieter, deeper, and slower to reveal itself. Dangerous love seduces through adrenaline. Companionate love seduces through attunement. What dangerous eroticism feels like: urgency, obsession, hunger, fantasies, highs and crashes. It keeps you leaning forward, racing for impact. What companionate eroticism feels like: being seen without performing, desire that grows instead of spikes, touch that calms and arouses at the same time, safety that allows your body to soften. This kind of eroticism doesn't hijack you, it meets you. You don't stop loving dangerous men by killing desire. You stop by letting your body learn a new kind of erotic safety, one where closeness doesn't cost you your peace. When your nervous system heals, danger stops feeling erotic, and intimacy becomes intoxicating in a different way. If you keep mistaking intensity for intimacy, you don't need more willpower, you need education. Inside Aligned Love, I teach how to identify trauma bonds, fantasy connections, and nervous system attraction before they cost you years of your life. Link is in the bio.